Um, I'd like to share about adoptionism. And we know adoption in the Godhead. We also have adoption in the physical. But do you understand that in the progressive ministry, what I'm sharing today is part class. So I hope you take note and share it also in your own classes. There is adoption in the Godhead. Let's open Isaiah 9:6. The adoption in the Godhead, adoptionism in the Godhead, shows the adoptionism of the bride. The adoptionism in the bride shows the kind of ministry we have in the bride. So, please open up. May I request us to read verse 6. Sister Rika, please read aloud for us.
For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given,
Please ask your
and the
children to
government
open
shall
up.
be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful,
Sit beside me.
Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Sister Maribit, you still need to adopt your child to sit beside you. That is part of adoptionism. That's the ministry of adoptionism. This is my own child. Why should I still adopt her? Because you're doing nothing spiritually for her. That's why that is still adoptionism. When God adopted His Son, it means He did not enjoy sonship just for the sake that He came out from God. He had to overcome so that He could be a son. There's a scripture there, just forget the scripture, that He had to overcome. It's not the wording overcome. That He proved Himself to be a son. All are sons of God. The angels, Lucifer, Adam. But the most worthy son is the one that overcame and became the firstborn of all creation. Here, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. Where is adoptionism? The government shall be upon his shoulder. So adoptionism is putting on responsibility to your son. Do not think for a moment that just because you sired the child, you give everything you want to him, you spoil him because he is your son. That's the way of the devil. This is the way of God. Galatians 4:1. Let's open up. May I request? Oh, I forgot. Brother RG or Brother Reggie, if I'm reading from this, you have to focus on this. Otherwise, Brother Menat, who did not remind you, has to type in subtitles again. So that this will be enjoyed. So, please focus your camera on the board. Now, I'm going to ask Brother, Sister Sheree to read first. Open up. Brother Rudy, please read for us. I cannot think. Okay. So, Brother Yana, please read for us.
Now I say that the hair as long as he is a child different nothing from a servant. Lord as
A servant and a son is different in nothing. Even if he is Lord of all, he is a servant, a true son of God, a true son of a believer. He is born to be a servant. Do not allow your children to live like kings, princes, without overcoming. Jesus Christ did not become king for nothing. 3:21. Even as I overcame and sat down with my Father in His throne. There are lots of verses to show what I'm pointing out. But we're talking about adoption. We were not inherently sons and daughters of God. Christ inherently was a son of God, was the son of God. But He still had, this is the verse I'm looking for. Learn He obedience. Search for that. Learn He obedience. You see? You have to remember this. You don't just read about Jesus Christ and God the Father. You read about yourself and your son and your children. Obedience is important. In today's technological world, we forgot to make our children obey. Sometimes it's the other way around. There's an interconnection between patriarchal training and the Godhead and progressive ministry. Ampunan. What is that? Orphanage. James, visit the orphans. But if you are spiritual in your understanding, you do not just look at the physical side. The sister that left a while ago, she, in her house in Mindanao, had many street children going to her. And I told her, you now have an obligation, not in the physical sense, not necessarily in the physical sense, but mostly in the spiritual sense. Here, we also have this obligation. Do not think, oh, they don't have any need of any physical thing, but they need spiritual things. As I have gone around overseeing, if they're opening their Bibles, so should you do it to the brethren. That's foot washing. So should you minister to one another. How do you minister? Just standing in a pulpit? You minister by overseeing each other, admonishing each other. Okay. 5:8. Please open up. Hebrews 5:8. Jesus, here in Galatians, well, before you read Galatians 4, please read verse 2. What does verse 2 say? Brother Jerry, read it aloud. Verse 2. Galatians 4:2. Before you go to Hebrews 5:8, we can minimize that later. But is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father. That is graduation day. They say I don't have any verses for what I teach. These are the verses of graduation day. This is the verse for graduation day for your physical child and your spiritual child. If you are a spiritual father, then your physical child should automatically be a spiritual child. Under training. Under tutors and governors. Verse 3. Verse 3. Go to verse 3. Galatians 4:3. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage. But when the fullness of time comes, God sent forth the Spirit of His Son into your hearts. Now let's go to our related verse. John chapter 1, verse 10. Please read for us, Sister Shireen. Okay, please read aloud. Focus your camera on the screen.
1 verse
10.
He was in the world, and the world was made by Him, and the world knew Him not.
Verse 11 unto 12.
He came unto His own, and His own received Him not.
Verse 12.
But as many as received Him, to take Him, He power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on His name.
We are not originally the sons and daughters of God, but we can become His children by adoption. Christ is inherently the Son of God, but He also needs adoption because He was under training. If you're training your child, you're adopting your child. If you do not want to adopt your child, your parenthood is a farce. Your parenthood is a waste of time and energy and effort. You've just been a servant of the devil of this world. If you adopt your child, you train your child in the ways of the Lord. Melchizedek, he was adopted. That's why he had no beginning and had no end, because he was in the beginning there with God. I'm talking of the anointing to the person. From a physical Shem that had descendants, he received a priesthood. If you receive a priesthood, you would be adopted into his kingdom. Now, for you to receive legitimacy for your parenthood, your patriarchal legacy, you have to pray. You have to adopt. In this ministry, in this progressive ministry, in the super church, we have to adopt each other. I'm seeing, who was that sister? Sister Len? Simon was in front of him playing. I told him, don't you have any burden? Don't you have any compassion? He's not my child. But we are in the family of God. Do not reason out, maybe the Father will rebuke me if I try to teach his children. No. If we are brethren in the Lord, each one of us, when Jesus Christ said, who is my father? Who is my mother? Do you consider yourself part of God's family? Then we should have compassion to each other. You know the parents will not reject his child being corrected by you and taught by you just because you are there. You were there. We should have a teamwork. In the world, even in businesses, in games, in whatever thing they do, they have teamwork. That's why they become strong. There are alliances of nations so that they become strong. And here, we are isolated with each other. We don't care for each other. What kind of church is this? You need to have compassion to another. You see someone in error, and the parent has no time to supervise his child. You supervise it for him. Don't you want your children to be supervised up the same way? Sister Berna, you were only concerned with your baby. Your own brother is not opening up the Bible. But you couldn't care less. What kind of family is that? Maybe concerned if the physical has had an accident. Maybe you'll be concerned on that. But how about the spiritual? Open up your eyes of understanding. We are no longer living in this present world. Are you still in this existential world? Your eyes should be enlightened. You should be sitting in heavenly places. You should have vision that his soul is being corrupted because they're vacant. No one is guiding them to open up. I'm using just a simple example of opening up the scriptures. How about break time when they're free? Can you supervise those who are orphans? Do you understand now the meaning of orphans here in the spiritual sense? Are you just looking on the physical sense or the carnal sense? Open up your eyes in the spiritual sense. Many are orphans in the spiritual sense. And we should help each other. Don't just keep to yourself. The very sad thing, even if your own children, you might leave them alone. But open up your eyes of understanding. What kind of adoptionism is the message of the Lord? For us, for our family, for the ministry. That's why the Bible says, very few can find it. The nominal churches do not know it. We who know it could not even make it everyone to understand, but we have to make an effort. Do you want to be left behind? Do you want to be found worthy in the sight of God? Adopt your own children. Adopt the children of others because they are your spiritual children too. So I hope you understand what was written in James. And the spirit of adoption is from the Godhead to the believer, to the ministry, to each other. Just because they're part of the church doesn't mean they're already mature. That's why there is this ministry of adoptionism in the church. We're adopting not the physical sense mainly. So it's not wrong to adopt physically. But the most important thing is to adopt spiritually. Even your own children, even the children of others, we should adopt each other's children. Because we should help each other. We should have a teamwork. How to look after the concerns of others. Philippians 2, verse 3 and 4. Okay. This is my short exhortation. God bless you all.